Today's episode is going to be about embracing ourselves. We're going to touch on identity and our immigrant journeys.
Yeah, I feel like not fitting in, it's part of my role. Like, and again, because I'm the oldest, that can give, a sense of confidence to my siblings to be who they're meant to be without being scared, So if the oldest, like me, the crazy one, God's doing everything, I think that's a beautiful way to put, like a role for the next generation. So.
Like, I didn't know I was leader until it was pointed out to me. And like the characteristics, I was like, I do that every day. I didn't see it differently.
That's you.
Yeah, I didn't know differently. I thought that was like normal. But then I just started realizing, yes, I am.
Felt like I was a leader is when I actually started working on the project. And I was like, I know that my story matters. And I know that there's other students out there that will understand because they might be in a similar situation as me.
You're gorgeous the way you are. Do not listen to those people who say you're not gorgeous. You're gorgeous. You're beautiful. You're beautiful the way you are. Love yourself. Take good care.
Hello.
Hi guys.
This is the first episode for Convivier's podcast.
So
Exciting. I'm so nervous, but so happy to be here. Yeah, I guess let's get this started.
Ladies first.
Okay.
Super Marlene.
Hi, I'm Marlene Rodriguez. I'm she, her. I'm a senior in high school. I go to Global Leadership Academy.
My name is Karen Nunez. I am the program coordinator at Convivir, Colorado. I graduated from MSU Denver in spring of 2021, and I use pronouns she, her, ella.
Hey, I'm Jose Morales. I just recently graduated from MSU Denver. I'm a mentor in Convivir, and yeah, what else? He, him, his. Yes.
Awesome. Today's episode is going to be about embracing ourselves. We're going to touch on identity and our immigrant journeys. But before we get to that, let's start with a little unpopular opinion. Who is overrated in the music world? And also, who's the queen of music?
Right away for this.
He's like, my time to shine.
Like,
Me.
Yeah.
Well, Bad Bunny, guys. He's a great singer, but
He's
I don't
overrated.
think he's like the best singer, ever. Like, my respect to like singers like Elvis Presley, like
or Daddy Yankee.
Daddy Yankee.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, that's history.
Yes.
I think Peso Pluma is overrated. I'm so sorry. But
Honestly, I can agree with that.
yeah.
Like, his music is good, not gonna lie, but it's just too hyped.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like it's a little too much. Like, props to him. Mexicano, he is doing amazing, but I feel like he's a little overrated. What about artists that you guys like? Who do you think is like the queen of music?
I don't know. That's a good question because I don't know. I'm a big fan of Ariana Grande, but she's been ghosting the music
Especially
industry.
after they leaked her music, huh? She just didn't release anything.
But also, she is gonna be part of the Wizard of
the movie.
Yeah. So I mean,
yeah.
she's a busy gal.
Yeah.
She also has her makeup line. So I feel
she's
like I can forgive her.
Yeah.
I would say Taylor Swift is the queen of
She's been
music,
killing
even
it.
though people would argue that she is overrated. I get it, but also have Alejandro in the background disagreeing. But I love her. I think she deserves all the credit, and yeah.
I'm between Nicki Minaj and Beyonce.
I think both
Like,
deserve that
just
queen of music title.
Just they just eat every time,
Yeah.
Like, I am not gonna argue with that.
I agree.
I don't think I've listened like a song of Beyonce like fully, completely.
Oh no,
Really?
I have
Yeah.
like Beyonce is my go-to when I need to get hyped
Really?
and like I
Yes.
need some energy. Beyonce is the one, or Nicki Minaj with all of her songs. I just love Nicki Minaj.
I feel like Nicki Minaj is underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. She
is.
deserves a lot more credit.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
They thought she was gonna be in the Hunger Games soundtrack.
Is she not?
No,
Oh
like
no.
an actress like just said, because one of the characters is named like Barb or Barbed or something like that, and she's like, oh, she like just quoted one of her lyrics, and they just like started assuming she's gonna be in it, and she's like, she's not.
Oh.
Yeah, and I can confirm. I want to go watch. I went to go see my Nicki Minaj, and she was in there.
Oh no.
Yeah, but
Have you guys heard of Renee Rapp?
mm-mm.
I have not.
She is amazing.
Mhm.
Also
I heard
underrated,
that.
by my opinion, queen of music. She's gonna be starring in the Mean Girls movie.
Oh, that's
That's
her.
Renee
that
Rapp.
Oh.
Listen to her music. She's amazing. Yeah.
Yes. Well, they're gonna love us or hate us for this.
It's okay, we're ready.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about identity. So that way our listeners and folks that are watching the video can, I don't know, get to know a little bit about ourselves. Yeah, I think this conversation is going to get a little deep, which is okay, but also it's going to like set the tone for the rest of the episodes because you guys, we're going to have some amazing topics for the other episodes.
And we're like so excited to like share a little bit of who we are. You know, like we can be fun and serious and everything, but they'll see. You'll see, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's talk about ourselves. Who are we? What parts of ourselves do we hate, love, and where does that come from? I think we can also touch on our immigrant journeys and how that has shaped us. And then we'll talk about leadership a little bit. But yeah, let's get started.
Okay. Where are you from, Karen?
So I was born in Torreon, Coahuila, Mexico. I grew up in a small town about 30 minutes away from Torreon. It's called Francisco y Madero, but people call it Chavez. And I was there for 13 years. I grew up with my grandmother, and she was very strict, but I feel like I definitely got some of those values from her. I feel like I, most of the time, like know what I want, and I am all about respecting others and just being a listener, but also having this like welcoming personality, I would say. So definitely those values come from my grandmother. And then when I arrived to the US, it was a whole other thing because trauma and this immigrant journey definitely shaped me into who I am right now. But I would say the parts that I love about myself come from some of those traumas, and the parts that I hate also come from those traumas. Being part of a school and spaces where there's a lot of discrimination and racism, it really got me to think about like my identity. Again, what my values are, appreciate and love where I come from. But again, that trauma also made me hate parts of my identity because for a while I didn't want to speak my language. Estaba avergonzada de mi acento, de mis opiniones, mi cultura. So it took a while, and I would say that my healing journey has been interesting. But now I'm at a place where I can go back to the place where I grew up and really, really appreciate the little things. And it has allowed me to also have conversations with my family about things they did that affected me negatively, but also in a positive way. And I feel like if it wasn't for those ups and downs, I probably would have never come to that place where I could have those conversations with them.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I feel like every story has so many sides, like the bad and the good. And I think recognizing that is a beautiful process. Sometimes painful, but it can be such a, amazing adventuring journey.
It's also long. Like you can never guess like how long it takes you to heal from those things.
And so, yeah.
It's like a process
And it
that
can be a
it's
small
thought
thing.
out. Yeah.
And take you like so long to
Mhm.
heal that.
Are you guys at a place where like you love who you are?
Mhm. Yes.
I would say I am.
Yeah.
I am. And it took so many years for sure, like, in so many things, and you know, growing mentally and in an emotional way. It's it's not like one day from another,
Yeah. Were there some people in this journey that maybe motivated you to be more confident, or can you think about specific experiences that definitely were like the catalyst for loving and appreciating yourself?
I think my parents played a big part, but also Convivir. A little like you guys really helped me get out of my shell. Like you guys remember middle school me, I wouldn't talk. I
Yes.
wasn't involved, and now like
so shy.
you guys can't make me shut up. Like I'm always talking. But yeah, I feel like it was a big part of me because I didn't like talking. I would just be shy, don't involve me in anything. But now I accept who I am, and I'm more open about it, and I like helping other people accept that too. Cause it was like it took me like a couple years to understand that I have a voice and I should use it.
Mm.
Hmm.
I love
Yes.
that. Well, for me, let me tell you a little bit about myself.
Mhm.
So I was born in Delicia, Chihuahua, but my parents decided to move to Virginia when I was a baby. So my first memories are in the United States. And then we moved to Phoenix, Arizona. And I lived there for like 5 years. And then we moved back to Mexico. I grew up there until I was 15. And then to the United States again, which that's a fun part for the book of the movie. And then it was really hard. It was really hard to like adapt and learn how to love a new culture, because at the same time, they were making me hate my culture. So I was trying to fit in and trying to understand why I was not being accepted. So when it comes about self love, I actually never had someone or something that like l- taught me how to love myself. So everything that I've been through in that way, it's been by myself. But also, I'm so proud of that because that's a transformation, process that I love about my story. And now I love so many things because that makes me so unique. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. And we should be proud of our, you know, lonely journey sometimes.
No, yeah. So both of us share this I guess like immigrant story, right? We moved to the United States, and at times we had to adapt, we had to assimilate. And I'm interested to hear what your journey has been like, Marlene, because you are first gen, but having parents who are immigrant, did that play a role into like your identity? And I mean, how confident you are also at this age compared to us.
So I was born in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and my parents migrated from Fresno, Zacatecas, in Mexico. And yeah, it's been like again, it's like the culture is so different from like the United States. Like I mentioned before, like Christmas traditions are so different. Like it hit me in the face when I was being questioned why we did those things. And also like the way my parents deal with situations is more different than like other parents.
Yeah.
If I can say that. Like sickness again, el vapuru, they would pull it out. Or they would, I don't know, there's this tea my mom would make with oregano, cebolla, y ajo, and like, oh, this is going to help you with la gripe and everything. And like, I learned that not many people know about it.
Yeah.
And I was forced to drink it. So, yeah, a lot of culture shock in that. But also the way I carried myself, I was very shy because I try to fit in where the puzzle wouldn't fit because I was different, and I tried to change myself for that. But it just started a process for me to accept that I was different.
Yeah.
Again, like food, I would pull up my burrito con frijoles y huevo, and they're like, "Why are you eating that?" And like they would question me, and I'm like, "Oh, this is like what I eat every day." Like I had no like. I didn't know I was so different from what they eat. And I grew up like, no ma, hazme un sándwich, eso no, eso no, eso no. But now that I like realize it's like a big part of my culture and the way I grew up, and like again, like los sábados de limpiar, te levantas a Juan Gabriel playing in the background or Vicente Fernandez. Like not everybody grew up like that, but like growing up like that has just shaped me the way I am, and like I accepted the fact that I'm different. And again, we're not all supposed to be the same.
Yeah. So talking about that, how do you feel like it's your role, according to your story right now in society in general, like how you feel represented your identity, nowadays?
Well, I feel like my role in society is just someone that wants to figure something out. Because right now I'm a senior in high school and I'm figuring out where I want to go after this. And again, my culture has shaped that because again, I want to go into architecture. And I just want to figure out who I am after high school, because high school and like school has been a big part of my life. And yeah, I'm gonna go into like college, but it's different, you know? Yeah, but honestly, I'm still figuring out what role I play into society.
But that's good that you're aware of like you're in the journey. What about you, Kevin?
I was just gonna say that I've had the privilege to know you for quite a bit, Marlene, and I feel like your role in your family and in your school has shaped you into like this individual who's a problem solver and who's very passionate and also a visionary. I think a lot of times you have like really great ideas and you're able to kind of like zoom out and see the problems that are present in your communities, but also zoom in and be like, okay, what can I do about it? So I just wanted to highlight that.
I feel like being the oldest of 6 has really helped me with that, because I like helped not raise, but I helped like influence 3 of my younger siblings, and like that's helped me. Like if there's a situation going on, I have to find a way to solve it, and that's why I've carried myself the way I have for years now. And I feel like being the oldest, I grew up with my parents, and my younger siblings were raised by my parents, if that makes sense. Yeah, we all grew up with the same lessons and everything. And now, like, I'm not, how do I say? I'm a big influence for them too. So I carry myself in a way that they can look up to.
Yeah.
And also, like, not do the same, but grow up to be similar.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense.
And you're the oldest too, right?
I am.
Yes. We're all the oldest. I'm the oldest of the two.
Yeah. I definitely feel like for a long time I didn't understand where my grandmother was coming from, where my mom is coming from, and why they made certain decisions. And that's what made me hate myself and everything about my culture and really all of it. And I really had to do some of that healing to be able to have those conversations. And then that's when I started to really embrace myself. And so I feel like my role right now in my community and in my family has been, I don't know, I'm like kind of that person to start those really difficult conversations. And I feel like I'm repairing some of those relationships that have been broken, but also I'm the one to put boundaries when things don't feel right, when they are wrong, and when they're harmful. But also I do consider myself as an optimist. Sometimes I feel like, no, yeah, everything's gonna be okay, even though everything is falling apart. I'm able to look at like that one little thing that is
gives you hope.
positive,
Yeah.
that gives
The
you
light.
hope. Yes.
I love
And
that.
sometimes that is really hard, but I feel like my experiences as an immigrant, as the oldest child, have encouraged me to really highlight highlight those happy moments, and be present. And I don't know, I feel like also I just want success and happiness for everyone around me. And that's why I put a lot of intention into the work that I do and the things that I'm involved in.
Love that. And for me, like right now, the place that I am, I feel like I'm breaking so many molds and so many, like things that they told me, like, oh, you're supposed to be like this or like that, and blah blah blah. I'm not.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm usually the one like who makes or does things a little bit different.
Yeah.
And sometimes like I sound crazy in my family, and we're
Mhm.
like, yeah, Jose it's doing nowadays and blah blah. Jose and yeah, Jose, and now my mom is watching. But like, yeah, I feel like not fitting in, it's part of my role. Like,
Mm,
and again, because I'm the oldest, that can give a sense of confidence to my siblings to be who they're meant to be without being scared. So if the oldest like me, the crazy one, God's doing everything. I think that's a beautiful way to put, like a road for
yeah.
the next generation. So
Would you consider yourself a leader?
yeah, I feel like not fitting in, it's part of my role. Like,
Mm,
and again, because I'm the oldest, that can give a sense of confidence to my siblings to be who they're meant to be without being scared. So if the oldest like me, the crazy one, God's doing everything. I think that's a beautiful way to put like a road for
yeah.
the next generation. So not intentionally.
Yeah, I feel
Totally.
like that's true because like I didn't know I was a leader until it was pointed out to me.
Mm,
And like the characteristics, I was like, I do that every
Mhm.
day. I
Like
didn't see it
that's you.
differently. Yeah, I didn't know differently. I thought that was like normal. But then I just started realizing, yes, I am a leader. And again, being the oldest does play a part of it because you're leaving like your siblings. And again, like I also agree with like breaking like boundaries and stuff that has happened for
cycles.
generations.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and like again, boundaries. I've put boundaries and I'm like like put as like crazy. Like you shouldn't be doing that. That's like my boundaries are not right or
Yeah.
not supposed to be there, right? But also again, like growing with my parents, like the uno nunca sabe or just things like that. I would say my mom like she's just saying that like she doesn't want to let me go out and she's just saying that to stop me from being out there. But now I understand that she's saying it for a reason.
Mhm.
That maybe I trust too much, but also having that whole saying uno nunca sabe is just
Mhm.
part of us.
Yeah.
Like you don't hear anybody saying it unless like my mom. Like I couldn't sleep over at my friend's house because she had a dad or she had an older brother.
And you be like,
'Cause it's like
until like later you get it. Yeah.
yeah, but now I get
Yeah.
it, like, because there's reasons why, and like
Mhm.
again, that plays a big part of me growing up because maybe I dismissed.
It's part of also leadership, right? We're
Mhm.
able to see the challenges, to understand, but also advocate, right?
Mhm.
For ourselves, for others. And I definitely agree with you both when it comes to leadership, because I also didn't really know that I was a leader
I
until
was going
someone.
to ask you, I
Yeah.
wonder when was your first time that you felt like a leader? Like when do
Yeah.
you feel like a specific time that you'll be
I
like,
have it.
I am a leader?
Yeah, it's when so I was part of a scholarship program that allowed me to create a project that would make a positive impact in my community. And I just remember I broke down after class because I was just so overwhelmed by the lack of support there was for undocumented students, that was the moment that I literally broke down and I was like, I want to talk to Ellen DeGeneres and Michelle Obama and like have them like back me up like one day and just like highlight that there are amazing students that just want to have access to higher education and resources. And so I just remember breaking down and being like, these people should listen to me. And I was like here in my head creating a whole speech. But then like when I really knew that I like felt like I was a leader is when I actually started working on the project. And I was like, I know that my story matters. And I know that there's other students out there that will understand because they might be in a similar situation as me.
Yeah. And everyone should feel special for their own uniqueness and story, because I think if we all collaborate together, we can make great things. But it's about first knowing yourself, loving yourself, embracing yourself. That identity journey. I'm gonna tell the real story about the selfie, and I was literally talking about this like this week for the first time. So this is the third time that I tell. So when I moved here, like they say that I was super ugly, like like they didn't like me basically. So the first time that I took a selfie, it was actually an act of self love. So I was trying to look at myself and see and try to understand why people were saying such like horrible things. So the first time that I took the selfie was like, okay, Jose, this is you. You should love yourself. This is you, and this is more like the most beautiful thing that you can ever, create.
Yeah.
So that was the first time that I started like doing social media. And then after that, well, you can follow me.
If you don't mind me asking, what were some of those things that people were saying about you? Like, what was the bullying?
And it's so sad that people waste time doing this. Like now that I see it, like playing Kahoot, they will put the usernames to like make something offensive about me. Like,
oh my
they
goodness.
took time for that. One of the biggest things, it was my eyebrows, because I used to have like like the whole eyebrow thing. Um, they always make comments about it, like, you look like a monkey, or like that's too much eyebrow. But now I love my eyebrows.
Yeah. Wow, that's very powerful, and I think it's amazing that you took that step to be like, okay, this is an act of self-love, and really go against those people that were saying really mean things. Yeah. What about you, Marlene?
So again, bullying was also part of mine, because around like elementary school, middle school, I would wear my hair's long. I've always had it long, and my mom would do 2 braids, and I would go to school with my 2 braids every single day of school. And this girl would approach me, and she would pull my braids,
Oh my.
or she would just like start trying to like put things in my braids, and it just like,
Yeah.
it was like very harmful. So I kept telling my mom, like, don't do those braids. I don't want those braids on me. Like, don't put them, because they would initiate that harmful action towards me. Wait,
It's okay.
to the point where they tripped me and I hit my chin.
Oh no. How did they get in trouble? No one said anything.
No one said anything. So I began to hate my hair. And I always wanted to cut it. Like, I begged my mom for years and years to cut it.
Yeah.
And I always told her, cut my hair, please. Like, cut my hair. Don't do those braids on me. And it's infuriating. It's not sad. It's like infuriating that I was around the age of 8 or 10. And figuring out that my hair that I was so proud of wasn't included into what people thought of a standard of someone beautiful. And I just hated my braids. I hated them. I just didn't want to be associated with them at all. Until like I saw my grandma, and she told me like, no, like I love my braids. She always wears those braids. And she told me, like, I've been wearing these braids because your dad used to make my braids.
Oh.
Your dad used to brush my hair. And,
Yeah.
like, when I noticed that it was such a big deal for my family, I was like, maybe my hair is part of me.
Yeah.
Maybe I should accept that. And yeah, I don't do my hair, but I don't want to cut it. And yes, it gets a little frustrating and it's high maintenance. But I love
But
my
it's
hair
a
now.
beautiful
It's beautiful.
hair.
Yeah.
Now,
I
look at
love
us
my
killing
hair.
it with beautiful eyebrows, hair. We're like Karen. Now you know
Yeah,
that's
now like my hair is like something that people identify me as like I think it was like in middle school around COVID. I decided to cut my hair because it was getting out of hand. I wouldn't do my hair, but I cut my hair and I cried because I didn't want to cut it. I was like, no, my hair. And, like, I told my mom, please don't cut my hair, leave my hair like that. But
no. It
she's
was
like, no, I have to cut it
a
because
whole
it's
new
getting out of
story.
hand.
Yeah.
It's getting out of hand, and I wouldn't let her do my hair anymore. I was at
Well,
that time of teenagers, like, I don't touch my
Don't
hair.
touch me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of power to share who you are right now and talking about those moments that shape you, and you should be proud of, those horrible moments that make us who we are in a beautiful transformational process. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, maybe
We
I'll
love
pull
you.
up on those braids to my school the next day.
What
I
about you,
love it.
Karen? Tell us a
Well,
little bit
I just
of
want to
yourself.
say thank you for sharing that, because you guys triggered a memory that was blocked.
We just choose
Let
not
it
to
out.
Yes,
share.
I was like, oh my goodness. I think the parts that I used to really, really hate about myself are like my physical appearance, because of certain people that I won't name because I don't think they deserve it. They don't deserve recognition that way. But it was about the way that I dressed. It took me a while to finally like own it and be like, no, this is what makes me feel comfortable. I was expected to dress a certain way. And if I'm literally shaking, if I chose something like different, then it was like hardcore, like bullying, really mean comments, texts. It one time it really got out of hand, and it got to the point of like verbal abuse, hacking social media. But it was like I had to do my makeup a certain way. I had to dress a certain way. And if I expressed that if I expressed that I wanted to have my hair a certain way, then they would like immediately shut it down and be like, that would look ugly on you, or you shouldn't do that. Long hair was also a big part of the things that I hated. I felt like I had to keep my hair long all the time. And there were definitely some times where I just cut it because I was just like, I don't feel comfortable in this anymore. I feel like I have to reach this expectation that doesn't feel comfortable. So definitely things that I hated about myself. And I'm still working on it. Sometimes I do stop myself and I'm like, oh, would this look good? But I try to not think about it. If it makes me happy and if it brings me joy, it makes me feel confident, then I will go for it. But it took me a very, very long time. Also, bullying when I was in middle school was really harsh, and it was literally the same thing. So it was frustrating to hear when I was younger, and then when I was an adult, full adult, by people around me that would still make those comments. It was really frustrating. And then just one specific example that I can think of aside from like physical appearance is like my mindset. So I'm a perfectionist, sometimes OCD. And now I'm like embracing it, feel a little bit more comfortable. But in the past, I definitely had people that made me really, really question the way that I thought and the way that my mindset was.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
So I feel like whoever is listening and watching this, they should know how perfect your journey is, and you should be proud of how unique and the authenticity you have. It's the most powerful thing you can have, and you should embrace it and be who you are, and you'll see that you'll shine.
And words matter, right? So
Yes.
think about the things that you're telling your friends, your loved ones. It can make a really huge impact in how they see themselves. So Don't do
Awareness,
that.
yeah.
Don't say
Always
mean
think
words.
before you speak, because
Yes.
words hurt. Maybe they're not physical, but they also hurt.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So share more love and kindness, guys.
Yes.
We can do it.
Yes.
And now we're gonna go deep down in Wendy's mind with Wendell's section.
Hi. My name is Wendy Santiana Ramirez. Pronouns are she, they, them. I'm a second generation, and I'm in middle school right now, like 6th grade. So it's like kind of hard, like trying to like keep track on like my classes and trying to remember, because like it's hard remembering, even though everybody remembered which classes are, even though I know my classes, I still feel like I still feel like I forget my classes, and it just takes like a second for me to remember. What I thought about the conversation was like, like something that I felt quite sad that people are back then were like that to them, and now they're still like that. Like they're still being mean and they act like that. And actually, kind of but when I started hearing about like some abuse going, everybody started like, thinking that's a little too far. You can't, like, why are you abusing people just because of the style they wear, just because who they are, just because they have braids, just because that. It's just wrong. It's your body. You decide what to do, not them. You decide what to wear. You decide what to hairstyle you have. You decide. You decide how you look, not them. If they judge, why are they judging? Just because we're style? That's just bad, man. Like I do get. I want to actually. Another thing I want to say, the that they're all beautiful the way they are, and that those people took it too far and tried to abuse them or abuse them. It's just like I don't think they should. I don't think they should be like. I think they should like not be in the same school as them, because like they will probably start verbally abusing them again. I see. Well, what I love about myself is mostly I just wear what I want to wear, and like when I wear something, and then they keep on looking at me, they would, like start like telling me I'm emo and that, because I wear like a black hoodie, and black pants, and like sometimes I wear like a black shirt or a different shirt, but nobody like, can see because I always wear the sweater. But that's only because like it's just like I don't know, I just like wearing black sometimes. And then like I get just like those comments of me being emo, looking emo. And then when I look at them, I'm just, why are you calling me emo if you look emo too? Like that's the same thing we have in common. Like, why are you saying it to me? And what I see also, like I do love myself and how I look, my personality and who I am. And mostly I just like when it comes for me, when it comes when we're talking about the how others they got abused by people who just didn't like them. That kind of happens to me. Like there's this girl, like she's like kind of a racist person because she says like mostly words that she's not supposed to say, and she's like targets me, and she doesn't target me that much, like not anymore, but she used to target me. And like she targeted me and my friend because and her friend and she started saying that we were in like in a relationship even though we weren't. And then so I just like just ignore her. And so like I could say that you could just ignore people, but like sometimes they just like they start abusing you. So I just like trying to abuse you. So I was thinking maybe if they're like gonna start abusing you, you should start you should like mostly talk and just talk to someone that you know and that you feel safe near and tell them what's going on. So like you can get the problems. They can you can like tell them who the person is, why are they doing this, so that you can get some so that you can get like other help to help you with that problem, and then they'll probably get in trouble just for that. So yeah, that's it, I guess.
Awesome.
You're gorgeous the way you are. Do not listen to those people who say you're not gorgeous. You're gorgeous. You're beautiful. You're beautiful the way you are. Love yourself. Take good care.
Absolutely. Well, wow. I wish I could keep talking about this for another 30, 45 minutes. But because this is our first episode, we're going to keep it a little short. And it was just so lovely to have this conversation and to just like let it out and have people learn a little bit more about who we are.
And to finish,
Yeah.
we have to choose a word or a phrase, like for today, like something that you feel like it's connecting to you.
The word love comes to mind. Just being around people that get it is so great. And I don't know, I just feel so much love in the room.
Love that.
A word that's like popped up in my head was acceptance. Just like accepting who you are for who you've like the way you've grown up, and accepting just what values and beliefs you have.
Yeah.
And for me, I would say is empower. Because if you have the power to change something, now imagine giving that power to someone else. It's an amazing gift. So
I love it.
yes.